Like it's just
Shouldn't start week 1.
Who, Shedeur shouldn't start?
Not week 1. I don't think no rookie should start week 1.
Hey, I mean, if you're good enough, why not?
There's very few of them. It's not about the talent. It's about learning.
The knowledge, learning to play.
See how to manage, you know what I mean, a start, you know, adjustment. You know, like you got to learn. You know what I mean? Like,
it's a lot to learn.
sit back for a few weeks and just observe a veteran do it.
Who you think they're going to start? Flacco?
Yeah.
Let Flacco start. I mean, but the college game is faster than NFL, though.
Yeah, that's true. I mean,
so it's like he just got to slow down in the NFL and think a little bit more.
But the NFL is more intricate as far as schemes.
Right. That's why I say you got to use his mind a little bit.
Because they there to trick you. You know what I mean? We're going to show you this. We're going to, you know what I mean? We're going to make you believe it's that. Then we're going to pop into this.
Exactly.
And that's why, and then you know the game, 90% of it is mental. So once mentally you start, you know what I mean, losing your focus, losing your confidence, like, oh man, they got me. What's happening out here? Like the boy, who was the boy that said, man, I'm seeing ghosts. He came to the sideline, was like,
who said that?
The boy, Sam Darnold. Yeah, he was on the sideline, yo. Okay. And I think the coach was mic'd up. He was like, I'm seeing ghosts out there.
Wow.
You know what I mean? It get real out that joint, yo.
How the young boy doing, though?
Shedeur?
Yeah. What you think?
He thought, I mean, you know, it's early, but he been shining, man. Like
I seen him throw through a few balls.
Yeah, everybody been talking about it. He been dropping passes in.
Yeah,
like
he dropping them in there.
Yeah, he looking good. I mean, you know, but pads ain't on either. You know what I mean? So it's early in the process, but it looked like he's, you know, ready to step up and, you know, do what he thought he was able to do.
Yeah, practice is completely different from in real time, in real speed. When you got somebody on the other side really coming to try to take your neck off, you know. So.
So, and you know, you don't got that, you know what I mean, with no pads.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But at least he's showing, you know, like the other quarterback, he threw a pick 6 in practice, you know.
The young boy that they picked up?
That they picked up before Shedeur.
I ain't seen no film on. I seen a little bit on Shedeur.
Yeah.
That's about it.
Yeah. But he threw some back shoulders, threw a couple touchdown passes. He looked good, you know what I mean? But of course, you know, I'm sure there's some bad in there too that ain't making it, you know what I mean?
I think this season, sales and ratings is going to go up for the NFL.
Oh, they showed, I saw something and they showed, and he was like, I don't know if he was coming out of practice or whatever, but he was like going to get into a Sprinter van. Man, it was packed.
Media, everybody.
The fans was like, oh, he was, you know what I mean? Like, they love him, you know what I mean?
Did you hear about the fan that was suing the NFL draft?
No.
Over emotional distress because of his pick? Remember we talking about litigation, everybody trying to sue, yo. It's actually a fan said that they were suing the NFL over
and we laughing.
Emotional distress.
We laughing, but you know what?
No, listen, because they were stressed out because he didn't where he got picked at. I'm like, well, here it is right here. Shedeur Sanders fan. Let me hold up. Let me go back to my screen. I'm sorry, y'all. Let me pull this back up real quick. But when I seen this, I was like, man, why I ain't think of that, yo? Seriously.
That's crazy.
You know, we've been talking about this litigation thing for you know, for a little bit. Everybody suing everybody, so where's it at? Here we go, right here, Instagram. Let's pull it up. Where is that post at? I was like, ain't this about a bunch of crap, yo?
That's crazy.
Shedeur Sanders fan slaps the NFL with $100,000 lawsuit over the draft slide, claims racial discrimination. That's what it was, racial discrimination, yo. Actually, it's $100 million. $100 million.
A fan.
A fan, yo. Racial discrimination. I wonder, they said he's identified as a John Doe. I wonder, was this person black, white, or Asian, or Latino? I wonder what's his ethnicity.
that would be, you know, that'd be an interesting dynamic.
Yeah.
But it don't matter.
No, it don't.
When it all hit the fan, like, do you think they're gonna get some bread?
Nah.
You don't think so?
Nah, I ain't winning that. Because it wasn't racial. because the first pick was a African American. So how was it racial? You can't say it was racial discrimination at all.
Yeah, I mean,
the very first pick was a black quarterback.
Right.
You can't. He ain't got no win there.
Yeah.
Ain't no win. That's an L all the way around.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting. You know what I mean?
You know what I mean? But I just thought it was funny
because a lot of lawsuits. You know, of course, you don't see it beginning stages, but you hear about lawsuits like, yeah, such and such was awarded X amount of dollars, and you be like, how?
That's to get them to shut up.
You be like, yo, how could you win that lawsuit? So
that's to get them to shut up.
They might throw them. You know what I mean? 100,000. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. What you think about Shilo, man? Shilo got his contract.
Yeah, Shilo look.
He got his contract.
You know,
with Tampa Bay Bucks. Shout out to Shilo and Shedeur.
Yeah.
Deion Sanders, your whole family. Congratulations.
Yeah, the Sanders family, man. I think they've been prepared for the moment.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And you know, Shilo, like I saw a clip. They showed Shilo, you know, when he came into like a press conference, like the first press conference. You know, he in Tampa, and you know, I guess they were about to introduce him, and he literally went through and shook the hand of every press person in the room.
Shilo
did.
Wow.
You know what I mean? That's,
yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, that ain't something that's being done. You know what I mean?
I think them two young men, they're in a position to make a difference as far as us as a people in the NFL and just out here as young men.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Because Deion, you know, he raised them kids, so they got a lot of his, you know, his input in them, you know what I mean, from him. So.
And yeah, I mean, you know, like we said, you know, last episode, it's like you know, Deion, his job is done. Like, you know, they men now. They young men, but they men.
Make their own decisions.
You know what I mean? Yeah. So, you know, the initial necessities of they've been instilled already. And they're, you know, out there on it. They dad ain't walking into the press conference with them, but they're showing what they're made of. You know what I'm saying? So it's good to see, you know what I mean? Like, you know, them handling how they handle it. You know, now, of course, you know, some adversity is going to hit. You know, can they continue to, you know, move forward and be that type of person that they showing right now?
Yeah,
I think they can.
I think they'd be cool.
Yeah.
I think they're going to be real cool. But we're back.
Yep.
Episode 15.
1-5.
Welcome to the pod. I'm your host, Dwayne Weathers.
Phil White.
We're back for another episode here, folks.
Yep.
As y'all heard, we just, you know, just busting it up about NFL and Shedeur Sanders and Shilo, and we ain't really go into Travis a little bit, but, you know, he doing his thing, about to get married. I mean, he might be married by now.
God, I hope not.
But we got the Eagles and Cowboys kicking it off. Just like... That's what Jerry wanted, right? Jerry got what he wanted. We got the Eagles and Cowboys kicking it off here in Philly, too. Here in Philly. And as y'all know, I am a Cowboy fan, and I will be in the building.
Yeah, I think we all might got to go to that one.
I will be in the building.
Because that's gonna be high energy. You know what I mean? The
first game of
tailgating gonna be off the hook.
Yeah, it's gonna be bananas down there.
Yeah, we all might gotta pop down to that.
I got the call this morning. I will definitely be in the building on a whole nother level at that. So I'm really looking forward to that game. I'm pretty sure everybody in the league, everybody that's in the football gonna be looking forward to that game. Yeah. Especially with Jerry hyping it up like we should play them first, and now he's spoken into existence. Oh man, it's gonna be crazy.
The rating's gonna be through everybody. Yeah, gonna have the eyes on that.
Excuse me. Yep.
And it's normally on. You know, it's should be a Thursday. You know, the Thursday night season opener.
Yeah, season opener. Yeah. So that's gonna be a good one. I can't wait for that. Who you got on that, man?
Who I think gonna win? Yeah. I mean, it's early. I gotta see, you know, what's going on, how everybody looking in camp. But I mean, in Philly, opener. You know, they unveiling the banner, all of that.
Gillian Wallow
in the
blowing
building.
the whistle.
Kevin Hart, you know what I mean? Like
Will Smith, everybody might pop up.
Yeah, Eagles winning that, y'all. Eagles winning
at home too.
Yeah,
I'll go ahead and take that L. I'll take that L. Yeah. I just had to eat that one. It's all good though.
As long as as long as it's a good showing, you know what I mean. You take the L.
Yeah, we picked up a receiver.
Yeah.
How you think about that pickup we got? Boy from Pittsburgh, young boy.
The boy can play.
He stepped it up last season.
Yeah, the boy can play. I mean, his talent is through the roof.
Yeah,
but
he came up last season.
What he's being questioned about is his mentality. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what he's thinking about. So yeah, you gotta see how it shake out. Yeah. You know what I mean? But
we still need a running game, man.
Well, I mean, y'all drafted it. Y'all got the boy, Javonte Williams. Mm-hmm. Now, he was a highly regarded running back. He had a severe knee injury. You know what I mean? So, hopefully, he's a couple years, removed from that. Hopefully, he can regain his form. Mm-hmm. I'm sure that's what y'all. But y'all also drafted the young boy. Yeah. You know what I mean? So. Yeah. The running game would be good. The passing game gonna be prolific, so there ain't gonna be no excuse for the running game not to come to the table.
As long as they protect that.
Right.
As long as they protect that, we'll definitely should do good.
Yeah. Because y'all got a couple changes on the O-line too, right?
Yeah, we picked up that young boy. He nice. Mm-hmm. I really like him. Only thing I don't like about him is he a little slow off the ball, but like we was talking, a couple days ago, they'll get him right with that. Hopefully they do, but he's strong as a bull, man.
Yeah,
he's strong.
Season, it's gonna be it's gonna be an interesting season, man. Mm-hmm. It's gonna be an interesting season because last year was interesting.
Yeah, absolutely.
A lot of young boys stepped up. You know what I mean? A lot of rookies, showed out. So got some, a big influx of talent, you know what I mean, that's been inserted back into the league last year. You know what I mean? A lot of cats showed up last year. Yeah,
I was talking to somebody yesterday. We were talking about the Eagles repeating. I think they got a good chance, man.
Yeah, and that's a prime example because a lot of their success was their young boys.
Yeah, I think they got they lost some players, but I think they got a good chance to go back.
Yeah.
But I was telling him, he was like, man, if they go back to the Super Bowl, he's like, I'm going to the next one. I was like, shh. I've been telling the Eagle fans because, I was down there. I went down there, and, if you didn't go to that Super Bowl that just went, you missed a good one, man. Especially the way they won, you know what I mean? I mean, Philly pretty much took New Orleans over, man. It was a real good time down there. So.
And I think, is it this year or next year? The Super Bowl was in San Fran, right?
I got that call this morning too. Well, actually, when he hit me about the Cowboy Eagle game,
threw that out there.
Yeah, so I thought of you instantly. So we look like we'll be going back to the Bay for the Super Bowl, yo. Yeah. So make sure we tap in with Mr. Fab and everybody out there in the Bay.
Yeah.
We'll be out there. Shout out to Mr. Fab, Too Short, E40, all those cats out there.
Yeah.
But this episode right here is sponsored by ASSE Contracting. They're a high quality contracting service. We got financing available. They're a reliable general contractor for projects big and small. So that means it don't matter what it is, ASSE Contracting can take care of. You want a house built or you want a TV put up on the wall. You need some plumbing done, you need some painting, you need furniture put together. They do everything. You know what I mean? Remodel your bathroom, your kitchen. ASSE Contracting is your go-to contractor to get anything done you need in your home. No matter how big, no matter how small, they're licensed, insurance, and like I said, jobs over $10,000, they got financing available. So if you ain't got all that money to get that deck that you want done, summertime coming up the patio, they can come through, go through the paperwork with you, see if you qualify. If you qualify, you can get financing. There you go. You got your deck for your barbecues, all the cookouts. Got what you want, take your time, pay it month by month. Well, however you want to pay it, whatever payment plan fits you, how much you want to pay, depending on your credit and if you qualify. So you need some contracting done, you need some work done in your house, make sure you hit ASSE Contracting. You can call them or text them at 215-436-9595. That's ASSE Contracting. Call or text 215-436-9555.
Yeah, and that's strong, man, because, you know, a lot of people don't, you know, everybody needs something done in their home. I mean, something, you know what I mean? So to be able to, you know, a lot of times.
Well, they might not need it. They want
it, right? Yeah, yeah. A lot of people want something done in their house.
Absolutely.
You know, and sometimes, you know, you'll talk to people, you know, just, you know, I'm getting this done. Or I need this done. A lot of people have a problem with, or not a problem, but a hesitation of knowing somebody that they can depend on.
And that's reliable.
Somebody that's reliable, you know what I mean? So that's where ASSE contracting come in, you know, and it's definitely, you know what I mean, a strong, you know, avenue to be able to have somebody you can depend, come in there, get the job done, get it done right, and also lead you into, if for those bigger jobs, you know what I mean, that you've been putting off, and I've been, you know what I mean, for 2-3 years I've been saying I want to get this done. Somebody to be able to steer you and lead you into the direction of getting financing, and, you know what I mean, getting some type of funds, you know what I mean, to get some of these big jobs done.
Absolutely.
You know, so
that's a lot. That's good. You know, financing a lot of people. That's what hold a lot of people up, because they can't afford it. And you don't know where to go, how to go about it. Yeah, and ASSE contracting, they take you step by step through everything. So give you all the resources that you need to get to that financing. So make sure y'all get them a call. The number again is 215-436-9555. I'm sorry, ASSE contracting. So let's get it popping, bro.
Yeah.
Episode 15. I mean, shout out our sponsors. Talked a little bit about NFL, football, Shilo, the Sanders, and Shedeur, and Eagles, Cowboys. And the weather is beautiful. It's the best month of the year.
Yeah, it's a good month. You know what I mean?
Best month of the year. May is the best month of the year. We just coming off Mother's Day.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, we record on Monday, so yesterday was Sunday. So happy belated Mother's Day to all the mothers out there.
Yeah, happy Mother's Day to all the moms. I mean, every day is Mother's Day,
every
but
day is Mother's Day.
We definitely celebrate y'all, you know what I mean, on that Sunday. So.
Yeah, I was feeling it yesterday. I was up crying. You know, I mean, listening. I always love my mama.
I saw you posting.
She's my baby girl. I only get one. You only get one. Yeah. I was up grooving yesterday.
Yeah, a lot of you know, I mean, a lot of radio stations, you know, of course, you know, had it centered, you know, around Mother's Day, and different, you know, songs mentioning moms and everything. So,
but that one, man, when I hear that one, you know, we grew up in the 70s,
right.
You know, the 70s was that era, you know, the Afro era and the Soul Train, and you know, those that sound of Philadelphia sound, and Gamble and Huff. Shout out to Gamble and Huff. They kind of painted the soundtrack of a lot of our lives with the music that they created right here in Philly. So when I hear those songs, man, it just, I mean, I just go back to when I was a kid growing up, those home cooked meals, and those Saturdays watching Soul Train over my grandmother's house, with my uncle giving me a cap of Thunderbird sitting on his lap, and then I'm running around and bouncing off the wall. So it was real good yesterday. You know what I mean?
Yeah, music will take you back, man, and put you right back, you know what I mean, in that time frame. Yeah.
So I'm quite sure a lot of y'all felt the same way, you know.
Yeah, I mean, we you know.
What y'all do yesterday, man?
So we had a good day, man. I got up and you know what I mean, decided to go out to, you know what I mean, see my mom. You know what I mean. So my mom, you know what I mean, is probably about, you know, a good hour from me.
Shout out to Nana.
Yeah. Shout out to Mom Dukes. And we you know, we just decided, you know, let's go out there and, you know, just take, because I wasn't sure, because, you know, she's in church, and we already knew that she was going to be speaking in service.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So, you know, she was doing something for all the mothers at the church, and she had like roses she was giving them and stuff. She was going to be speaking. So we knew that, but I was like, I'm not sure if she's already doing something. You know, are they going, you know, the church going out, you know what I mean? Some of the mothers, I didn't know what they was doing. So, you know, I reached out to her. She was like, no, I ain't got no plans. So I was like, all right. I was like, we coming up there.
So y'all went up there.
So we went up there, went out to end up going to Red Lobster, and you know, because none of us had really been to Red Lobster in a while.
Did
so
the
we
kids
like,
go with y'all?
No. It was just me, Mom, Quee, my wife, my sister Sherry, and my mother-in-law.
Okay.
So it was us 5.
That was cool.
And
cool.
you know,
Beautiful day too yesterday.
Yeah, it was real
Beautiful
nice,
day.
man. It was real nice. So we went there, and everybody, like, I'm not a big seafood eater, you know what I mean? So, but it was, it was the mom's day, so all of them went. So
I'm sure the restaurants was packed.
yeah, the restaurants was packed. We kind of called, we kind of called and see how to really arrange it. And they was like, well, it was early, so we wanted to get early because we figured, like between 2 and 4,
right,
when it's gonna get crazy.
Yeah.
So we got to the restaurant like around 1:30. You know what I mean? So it was good. We probably had like a 15-minute wait. But by the time we left,
it was packed.
It was packed. People was all in the vestibule waiting. You know what I mean? So
that's how it is on Mother's Day.
Yeah, but everybody had they had their I don't know what they call it, seafood feast or whatever. So all of the moms, they got that. So it was it was a good day, man.
Yeah, make sure y'all every chance you get, tell your mom you love her, hug her, and I still jump in the bed with my mom now. You know what I mean? She's like, boy, get out of here, leave me alone, stop playing. No, I'm jumping in the bed. I love you. You got to show them now. You got to show people that you love them now.
Right.
When that time come and you can't do it, you start crying and wish you would have. So I personally try to tell everybody I love them. It don't matter who they are. You know what I mean?
And you know what? It's funny that you say that. Like I saw something. It was just, I guess, just a commercial, you know what I mean? But it was really the Shark Tank is where somebody that had a product and they was on Shark Tank. And I think the commercial that I saw, they were saying, like what's something that they regretted, not investing in, something like that. But anyway, what it was, and I want to get this, it was some type of product, and somebody probably know what I'm talking about. They probably already did it. But it was some type of product where you could, it's a whole format where you can have your mom or your dad, whoever, your parent, and they can, like talk over different pictures, different things that's big and, monumental in the family. And they, go over it. They're talking over it, and this stuff gets archived. It gets created into a book where you can flip through it. And you can see the picture, and then you can see, like, it's in book form what she or he is. This was his mother's, talking about, and you can scan a QR code and hear her voice talking about it. I thought that was so strong, man, because when they gone, you got that. You always had that.
Actually, I'd seen something. I believe it was over the weekend or the last few days on social media that was similar to that. Somebody's family member passed away, and they had him like a video or some archive. You know how they do the what they call it, the
hologram,
the holograms, and he spoke at his funeral, telling everybody his kids and how he loved them, and I guess it was previously recorded.
Something he did,
yeah, something that I was like, yo, that was dope. You know what I mean? So he was answering questions and everything. I was like, wow. The future. We really going into the future, man.
Yeah. But I want to get that. You know what I mean? Like, my dad is no longer here. You know what I'm saying?
Rest in peace, Mr. Phil.
Yeah. Pops. And with Father's Day coming up, you know what I mean? He passed right around Father's Day, so Father's Day is always something different, for me now.
And we got something special for y'all.
Oh yeah.
On Father's Day. So make sure y'all stay locked in. Make sure y'all tune into that episode. This gonna be a big one. This one might break the internet. That's all we gonna tell y'all right now.
Yeah. But, everybody looking forward to that episode. But I just thought that was so, you know what I mean, that was strong, man, to be able to, archive something like that. Because a lot of times, and that really hit me because I just thought about my dad, you know what I mean, and before he passed, like, when your parent is sick, I mean, fortunately, at least we got that. We knew he was sick, you know what I mean? So, we got a chance to talk and all that stuff.
I remember, thinking back to that time, and it was like, I remember you sent me the text of the scan, yo. I was like, it was like 80% of his body, you know what I mean? It was like, I was like, man, but like you said, at least y'all got a chance to sit down and
talk, and you know what I mean, because I learned, like I tell everybody, I learned more about my pop in that short time frame, like that little 2-year window,
Yeah.
than I had ever learned.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Life.
So to be able to, you know, have them purposefully, you know, go through and just, you know, talk about different things and, you know, over the years that happened and when we did this and when we did that, and be able to have it in like a book form.
Right.
And, you know what I mean, also hear their
Audio.
voice talk about it.
Yeah.
I think that's a real strong product, and I want to get it, you know what I mean, for my mom.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Speaking of losing people and Mother's Day, you lost a young boy over the weekend here in Philly, man.
Crazy, man.
What's his name? LGP Qua.
Yeah, Qua.
I think that's his name. They call him
I think
Qua.
I think his name was Quadair. I believe it was Quadair.
I think it was
Qua.
LGP Qua. Mm-hmm. Positive young boy, man. Let me pull it up real quick, see if I can get his name right.
Yeah, it's crazy, man, because I don't know what I was doing, but I happened to stumble upon it last night, and I was like, you know, it was like it was.
They called him the voice of the people.
The voice of the youth. Yeah, the voice of the youth. That was his little mantra, man. Young boy was nice, man, and you know me. You know what I mean?
Yes, LGP Qua, yeah, voice of the youth, man.
And I you know, one of my biggest, you know, I'm a hip hop head. You know, we grew up on hip hop, but one of my biggest pet peeves about today's hip hop, you know, and nothing, you know, all these young boys got skills, but is that too many of them, older, you know what I mean, rappers are not, you know, sprinkling in at least some positivity, you know what I mean, some message for the young bucks coming behind them. And he was one that was doing it.
He probably was the only one that was doing it.
You know what I'm saying? Like, he wasn't that old, but you know what I mean, he wasn't a young boy. He was one that they could look up to, see him still in the streets, see him, you know, giving positive message.
He had a flow. It all makes sense.
Young boy was nice, man.
He was real nice.
And I just couldn't believe it.
Shout out to his family too.
Yeah,
you know,
man.
Prayers going up
prayers
for
to the
his
whole family. Yeah.
You know, may he rest in peace. And
because
you know, whoever did it, hopefully you turn yourself in if they ain't catch him or not. I don't know if they caught the person or not.
I don't think so. I mean, I think it happened sometime yesterday.
Yeah, over the weekend. Yeah. So it's a shame that a mother had to lose her child on Mother's Day. Yeah. So that's
speaking of what I just said, bad, man, that Mother's Day never be the same for her again.
Never be the same, man. Never be the same.
But it's just.
And I heard it was over his chain, you know, over a chain.
Yeah, see, I ain't getting no details. Over a chain.
Yeah, over a chain, man. You know, and hopefully, you know, we don't know, even though he was the voice of the youth and about positivity, but you don't know what these young cats
what they doing
behind the doors. You know what I mean, behind closed doors. So I'm praying and hoping that, you know, he wasn't a part of something that that he was talking about. You know what I mean? That he wasn't talking about. You know, putting up that facade of being positive. So.
And I mean, even so, man. I mean, we was just talking about. I don't know if the camera was rolling yet, but times is just different than when we grew up, man. Like.
Well, I mean, things ain't supposed to stay the same.
Well,
you know,
I mean, it don't supposed to change like this though. Like back in our day, we had disagreements, we had robberies, you had stick-up boys all crazy. All the same stuff that's happening now was still out there, but you ain't had to kill somebody.
The same stuff is happening now. Same stuff that was happening when we were young were happening 100 years ago. The game don't change. It's just the faces just change.
But why these young?
You talking about at the level that they doing it at?
Just why you killing these dudes? Like why?
Well, I was talking to somebody the other day. They doing it for the reputation. Like I ain't in the streets like that, and you know I don't have a son. So, you know, that's in the streets or young boys that's in the streets. So I don't know the lingo and everything. They use like football and sports terms to talk now. You know, they was like, I hit a 3-pointer. That means they killed 3 people. I'm like, this is how they talk now out here? 3-pointers and, they use slang like that from sports to explain the stuff that they doing out here. So it's at a whole nother level, man.
I mean, but I see, and that's the difference. And when we came up, that reputation that you wanted was that you could hold your hands.
Yeah, pretty much.
That's the rep you wanted.
Yeah.
Not that you hit a 3-pointer. No, I knocked this bull out. We was rumbling it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
right.
why we can't still get the rep, but you ain't got to take somebody out.
Or the OGs would make us fight. Like,
Yeah.
You know what I mean? No, y'all gonna rumble.
Yeah.
We gonna put y'all in this, you know what I mean?
Y'all got a disagreement. This how y'all gonna settle.
You know, then after that, they'd make you shake hands and the squash.
Yeah, I
You know
mean,
what I mean?
it's crazy because I think about like all the fights I had coming up through school, even
Right.
through high school.
Right.
I'm cool with the, you know what I mean? Like we see them boys, like we rumbling, like ran it back a couple times.
Right.
But now you see him at a party and so I'm like, yo, you know what I mean? What's it?
You mess around and get killed now.
Now you definitely. The cats ain't rumbling no more.
Yeah, these YNs out here. But you catch these YNs out here without no guns, you snap them in half, yo.
It's crazy, man. And that's really that's the number one thing that really burns me up because you think about it like robberies. Like, why you killing them? You know what I'm saying? Like, you can rob this person without killing them, but it's like you said, it's like, no, you know what I mean? I want that, and I want to add this to my belt.
And it's the trauma and the anger and the mental intelligence isn't there in a lot of these young cats' minds. You know what I mean? So they're dealing with a lot of stuff that they need help with. You know, mentally. You know what I mean? Mental health is huge. You know, even older people dealing with that stuff. You know what I mean? So.
Man.
Hey man, God bless the young boy, man. May he rest in
man.
peace, man.
Definitely.
Again, you know, shout out to his family.
Definitely a bright light, man, in this present time. And once again, another one snuffed out, man.
Yeah, sad, man. Another Philly rapper at that too. It's like what we just lost. Was it P&B Rock not long ago? And I don't know what's going on with the culture and the rap community. Like
Gil lost his son.
Gil, you know what I mean? We lost Cheese, you know what I mean? Like, it's crazy, man. It's crazy out here. Yeah. And I hate to see the young boys go like that, man. I really do, man. I really hate to see the young boys go because, you know, we know how it is out here in these streets, man. And right now, it's too much opportunity. You ain't got to be out here doing the dumb stuff. And a lot of them, like you said, they talented.
Right.
Take that talent and do something positive. You know what I mean? It's a whole lot of opportunities out here for y'all. Y'all ain't got to be out here trying to get a rep, killing, slinging the guns, and, you know, shooting 3-pointers and M1s or whatever you want to call it, man. You don't need to do it, man. Do something good, man. Do something good, man. Well, what else going on, man? I know we be talking about health and stuff, so, you know, I started working on my abs, man.
Okay.
Start doing these ab workouts. So, I'm in the gym, you know, on a pretty regular basis. I said, you know what, let me start working on my abs, man. So every morning I get up and do these ab workouts on an empty stomach. Then I take my exclusive moss on an empty stomach. And
shout out to the Moss Boss.
Shout out to the Moss Boss. Actually, it's been working out too.
Right.
And a lot of things, what I noticed about working out, a lot of people try to do too much. If you keep it simple, you ain't got to be doing all the, you know how they be lifting weights and this and that. Yo, do some simple stuff. Just stay consistent with it. If you find something simple and you comfortable with, just stick with it and just stay consistent, and you're going to see the results. Trust me, you're going to see the results. I'm gonna show you the little workout I got for you. You know, that I've been doing with my abs.
I think I put it, you know what I mean, in a group chat. This is months ago, and it was some board I was looking at, and to what you said about abs. And, you know, the guy, you know, hey, it's all types of workout gurus, you know what I mean? But this guy, you see, like, before and after pictures. And, you know, he's a doctor, like, you know, so, you know, he's giving you the breakdown of, you know, he going deep into, you know, how the body, you know what I mean, you know, burns calories and this, that, and other. So he kind of walks you through a whole thing, but.
And that's the key, really. It's not being in the gym, it's your diet.
Oh, yeah.
It's really your diet. You know what I mean?
And he one thing he said to me, well, he didn't say it to me, but he said it on his page, but it resonated with me, was he said, just do it one time. And what he was talking about was getting a 6-pack.
Right.
And he was like, you know what I mean? He was like, yeah, just do. He was like, yeah, just do it one time. And you know what I mean? You might not go back to it, but then he go into, this is how you do it.
Right.
And I started doing it. Like when we went last year before we went to vacation, you know what I mean? So, cause I put it in the group, cause I was like, yo, this is what, you probably remember, I was like, yo, this is what I'm on.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And I put it in the group.
Yeah.
So, you know, I was on that. So, you know what I mean? It's ab workout that I was doing, like a little joint I could do right on the floor. I don't need nothing. You know what I mean? You could just do it on the floor. So I was doing a little ab workout. So I seen, you know what I mean, some little definition. I had like a little, you know what I mean? Yeah, a little 4-pack coming.
With a little bit of fat around it.
Right. You know
a little bit of gristle around it.
Yeah, so I'm like, okay, yeah. But the boy, you can see him cut down. He show you like pictures, and then he let you know, like, you know, if you you know, he got pictures of different people at different levels of body fat. And then he said, you know, you kind of see where you at, which picture you are. This is about the percentage you are body fat. Here's, if you want to get down to see your abs, you need to get down to about 12%.
Right.
10 to 12% body fat to get your abs popping back out.
Okay.
So this is what you need to drop, this many pounds, yada, yada, yada. And he got a whole chart where you can do your own math, because, you know, everybody different weights.
Yeah. And that's what I'm on right now. I'm going to do it one time. You know? You know, I'm going to do it. Like, what's this? This is like pretty much the beginning of May. I say by the end of June, I'm gonna get myself to end of June, because you know I got muscle memory, and I was on that too, and I was like, yeah, I could see my Jones, but now it's like I don't want to have the dad body with the little belly, so you know, I said let me go ahead and get this 6-pack up in there, so y'all ain't gonna see it, but
it's crazy. Like, when I started, I was like, yeah, you know, let me start working on it, you know what I mean? And I thought back, this was years ago. One day we was in New Orleans, and we was on Bourbon Street, and it was me and, you know, me and a couple homies, and we on Bourbon Street. So you know the Jones, they trying to give us B's, and they are right.
Oh yeah.
So my man, he's like, yeah. So he pull up his shirt, right. He had a nice little 6-pack. So the joint like, yo, joint giving him B's. So I'm like, I pulled my shirt up. I'm like, no, this ain't going. This ain't going.
You might you're not even gonna get you might get 1 bead, huh?
No. I'm gonna tell you, because the joint saw it, she was like, nah, you gonna have to show me something. She's like, you gonna have to show me something else to get these beads.
So how your workout coming out, man?
It's coming well, man. You know what I mean? Like,
how many days you hit in the gym?
We in about 3 days a week.
3 days average.
Yeah,
that's
3 days a week.
That's cool.
Quit, and you know, like you said, you know what I mean? We ain't going in there and it ain't
trying
nothing.
to kill yourself. You know?
Yeah,
you ain't trying to lift the gym, man.
No, I go in there. I do about an hour worth of, you know what I mean, weights, and I do a half hour of cardio.
Okay.
And I'm out of there. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I've been walking to the gym, so that's almost 3 miles up and back. So I kind of like that, and you know, it's nice now. Just got my bike back yesterday, so I put my bike. Man, I had a heck of a day yesterday, man. I had put my bike in. Me and Terrence put our bikes in the shop to get them tuned up. Shout out to T Gooder, I got mine back yesterday, so I caught an Uber down there. You know, I had my bike stuff on, so I'm just gonna take off and go. So I get there, I look at my bike. You know, they're supposed to do a tune-up, clean it up, oil the chain. You know, I had got a new kickstand. I wanted that put on nice and tight and everything. I needed my brakes adjusted, so I'm hyped. I'm like, yeah, it was nice. I'm like, shh. Talked to my mom, you know what I mean, did everything with her. It's time to ride now. Brings my bike out, I pay him. Something just ain't feel right. So I'm looking at my bike, I'm like, they ain't even wipe my bike off. You know, I'm still seeing dust and stuff. So I'm like, yo, y'all ain't wipe my bike off. You know me, right? He's like, well, you know, it's a dusty place here, and you know what I mean? I was like, dusty? I'm like, y'all still, I'm like, this is dust from when I pulled it out my basement. Like, you know what I mean? Like, y'all didn't wipe this thing down at all. So I'm trying to be cool. I'm like, all right, matter of fact, what all did y'all do? Seriously, I need to go over everything real quick. So, because when I dropped it off, I specifically pointed out maybe about 3 or 4 things that I wanted them to, look into with more detail. So I'm he prints out the receipt. He just hands me the receipt. So I'm like, all right, this bull guy, you know what I mean? So I'm looking at the receipt. So I'm like, remember I said I had a new kickstand. So my kickstand was loose, looser than a tooth, yo. I'm like, yo, y'all ain't even tighten up my kickstand. I'm like, what happened? I was like, y'all didn't wipe my bike down. Y'all didn't, tighten up the kickstand. So I goes to look at it. He was like, well, he gave me some kind of excuse. And then he said, then when I looked at it, it was a brand new kickstand too, mind you. It came with the screws and the nuts. It was Mitch Mac nuts on there. So I'm like, well, where's the original hardware at? I have no idea. Then he know what he gonna tell me? Isn't your bike in running condition? Oh man, why did he tell me that?
Oh, where was this place?
This is at Cadence. Do not go to Cadence down on Main Street, y'all, to get your bike fixed.
Yeah, that's crazy.
You got Trek right up the street. You know what I mean? I'm gonna get to that too. I had to end up going to Trek later on in the day. So he told me I needed to call East Bend to get the hardware. I was like, ho. I brought my bike in here for y'all to do repairs, and you telling me I need to contact the manufacturer when you're not even giving me back the hardware that I came in here with? I was like, no, I need a refund, bro. I was like, you gotta give me my bread back.
Yeah.
Now, here was the good thing. He said, okay. You know why? The shop was full.
Yeah, because they was tripping.
Yo, you know me. He was like, he probably was like, I don't want him to cause a scene. Let me just go ahead and give him his money back and get him on out of here, because it was definitely about to be a scene. So
yeah, that's crazy.
But hold up, so he gives me my money back. I'm hot though, because I'm hyped. I'm like, I'm getting my bike tuned up. You know what I mean, my new kickstand, it's gonna be nice and clean. I'm gonna be riding. None of that. So now the kickstand, it's still, it's workable, but it's still loose. And I ain't got my tools on it to, tighten it up. And I'm like, this is a bike shop. Why y'all don't have the right stuff to tighten a kickstand on a bike?
Right.
So I'm like, let me just get out of here. So I go on my mission, start riding. So I'm enjoying myself, riding like I usually do. I'm going live and this, that, and the third. So Terrence supposed to join me, and he didn't. He was like, his hip was hurting. So he said he wanted to ride in the neighborhood. So I'm like, all right, cool. I'm gonna come back up that way. So I takes the trail on Lincoln Drive. You know how Lincoln Drive is? When you look to the right, you see people riding the bike. So I takes the trail. I gets a flat in the middle of the trail, bro. A flat. My bike, I'm riding. It's like, yo, what's going on? Look, flat tire. So now I'm like, I'm in the middle of this trail. I'm like, ain't nobody around with a truck to come get me. But luckily, I'm not far from Cadence, because the Ridge Avenue right there. Right. Cadence is right there where the movie theater at. So I'm not far. I'm maybe a half a mile. I'm like, nah, I can't go back there now. I'm like, I can't go back there now. I wanted to because it was close, but I was like, nah, I can't. They definitely gonna say they can't do it, or they gonna say something with it. They're not gonna service me. They're not gonna service me. So Trek is about another half a mile up Main Street. So I was like, all right, I'm gonna walk up the Trek. So I go up there. First I called them, make sure they could do it. I'm like, yo, I'm down here in the trail. I got a flat. I'm about a mile away from y'all. He's like, yeah, we open at 5. Come on, bring it through. So I took it through. They got it done in like 15 minutes, and I kept it pushing. Now, I wanted to get the kickstand fixed, but I had the screws here, the original screws. I get home, the kickstand was gone, yo. It just
fell off.
It just fell off, yo. Dang. So I was even hotter at Cadence, because I'm like, I'm glad I got my money back, quote unquote. That's, to make a long story short, I'm like, I'm glad I got my bread back. even though I wound up having to pay to get the flat fixed, but it was all good. So that's how my day went yesterday.
So now you got to buy another kickstand.
Yeah, I ordered another one today. I'll put it on myself though.
Well, speaking of flats,
flats.
it's crazy because yesterday, you know, it's Mother's Day, and we take off, and like I said, you know, we a little ways from mom, so I'm heading out. So boom, I pull. You know how you know your car, you in it every day. I pull off. I start hearing little road noise, and I'm like, now, mind you, I drive an EV, so it's no noise. So I'm like, do. I'm like,
oh, if y'all don't know what an EV is, that's an electrical vehicle.
Oh yeah, electric vehicle, yeah. So, I hear like a little, so I'm like, nah, I'm just bugging. Then I'm like, nah, I definitely hear it. So I'm like thinking to myself, and we've all had this happen, it's a rock stuck in the tire. I'm checking the tire pressure. Perfect, cool. I'm like, all right, ain't no flat. Must be a rock in there. It'll come out eventually. So I keep it pushing. Then I hear it again. I'm like, nah. So I'm like, y'all hear something. So my wife like, pull over and check it out. So it was like a little spot. So I pull over. I look, I can't see nothing. I'm like, I don't see nothing. I'm like, it's gotta be a rock. But I'm like, all right, let's just be out. You know what I mean? Like, we trying to get to the restaurant. So I get to the restaurant.
So all the lugs and stuff was tight, right?
Everything was good. You know what I mean? Like the tire pressure was reading. I just kept hearing the noise. Doom, doom, doom. So I'm like, all right. So we park, we go in, we come back out, you know, saying bye to Mom Dukes, jump in the car, start it up. I go to pull off. You know, it take tire pressure. You got to ride a little bit before it kick in. Boom. I'm like, oh. So I pull over like, shh. Now I see that the tire is, you know what I mean, the one that I heard, because when I started hearing, I'm like, it's the front passenger tire.
Right.
That's the tire that's going low. So I'm like, oh man, I'm like, something in the tire. So now I get out, I see it. That's the picture I sent y'all.
Yeah, I'm looking at it now.
You know what I mean? So I see the joint, I'm like, oh, it's a big, I don't know what it is, a bolt. That's what it looked like. It's a bolt, you know what I mean, with a washer.
Yeah.
I'm like, shh.
Yeah, that's what it looked like.
So I'm like, all right, you know what I mean? So I know it's a slow leak because it ain't flat.
Yeah.
So, you know, I got a joiner, so I put air in it, get back to the crib. So I get back to the crib, I lose maybe like 4 PSIs of pressure. So I'm like, all right, I ain't gonna worry about it.
It's coming out quick then if you lost.
Well, no, because you know, I'm an hour away. So 4 PSIs.
That's a lot though.
Well, that's substantial, but in a slow leak, it's still considered a slow leak.
Right.
I could, you know what I mean? Because I thought I was gonna have to pump it up just to get home. I didn't have to.
Okay.
So I'm like, all right, I ain't gonna worry about it. In the morning, I'll just, you know what I mean, take care of it.
Was it flat this morning?
I get up this morning, it's not flat. So I know it probably was sitting right on it. You know what I mean? Just so happened. And
the temperature dropped, so the air ain't gonna come out so quick.
So, you know, but it was low, so I filled it up because now I already, before I even went outside, I already ordered the tires. So I was like, I need 2 tires anyway. You know what I mean? So I'm like, all right, boom, let me order the tires. I order the tires. I go out, fill it up, I drive. I go to the whatchamacallit. Right now, of course, I'm looking at it to see how it's going. So I'm looking at the tire that's flat, which is, or got the slow leak, is front passenger. So I'm looking at that, it's starting to drop down. But now I'm looking at the other tire, the rear driver's side tire is going down. I'm like, wait a minute, I know that tire ain't going down.
Yeah, that's the picture you sent, the rear, John.
No, that's the front, the one I sent. Now, you talking about when you saw the whole joint, right? That was the rear.
Yeah.
So I'm like, yo. So now I pull up to get the tires, and my rear. Now I get out, I look. It's a nail in the rear tire. I'm like, yo.
Where was you at, yo?
I don't know, yo. Like, I'm like, yo, what in the world? So I'm like, all right. Now I'm salty. I'm pissed. Like, shh. So I get the tires, fill both of them up, go straight to the used tire place because that's where I, get the new tires put on. So the boy put the tires on. I'm like, yeah, I need these tires put on. My back tires is cool, plenty of meat, but I got the nail in it. So I'm like, I need you to put these on and plug this joint.
Right.
So, boy, like, all right, he hooked it all up. But I'm like, yo, like, I don't get flats. You know what I mean? Knock on wood. You know what I mean? But to get 2 tires in the same day.
Yeah, that was annoying there.
But the good thing was it was so leak, so you know what I mean, it wasn't like I wasn't disabled, and it happened together so I can get it all done at once.
You made out better than me.
Right, yeah. You had to walk up.
I had to walk off and it was hot, and I'm in Manayunk, so you know I'm going up hills.
Right.
We're pushing the bike.
Oh yeah,
it wasn't bad.
It's nothing but hill.
I mean, the hills wasn't steep,
right,
but it still was on an incline.
You got a nice little workout there.
Yeah, I got a great workout. Yes, I probably rode 30 miles.
Okay.
And I probably walked. That probably was at least a mile, maybe a mile and a quarter.
Right.
Quarter.
Yeah.
You know what I mean, so yeah, I got a good workout.
So it sounded like it was the day of the flats, yo.
Yeah. When you sent me that, I sent you my journal. I know you was like, oh, he went through it too, huh?
Yeah, it was crazy.
But yeah, I had a good day yesterday though. It was beautiful out, man. It was nice down to the drive. You know what I mean? People were out. You seen people out with their moms pushing them in wheelchairs, and you know, couples and families. It was beautiful, man. It was good.
Yeah.
Like I said, May is the best month of the year.
Yeah.
And with that being said, tomorrow's my man's birthday, so let's give Phil a happy birthday blessing. Yeah. You know what I mean?
How about that?
Happy early birthday, bruh.
Yep.
It's May. A lot of birthdays in May. Just got finished celebrating your birthday. Just got finished celebrating Jada's birthday. My mistake. Jada's. Tomorrow's your birthday. Also, let's give a shout out to Tanya.
Oh, yeah,
Romaine's wife's birthday is tomorrow. Yeah. You know what I mean? That's my your birthday twin. Yeah. You know what I mean? So shout out to her. Yeah. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Birthday's coming up. And I got a birthday coming up next Wednesday. Let's give a shout out to me for my birthday next week. So, you know, got a lot of birthdays coming up this month. Mo celebrated his birthday. Yeah. Shout out to Mo. Who else got birthdays this month? It's
a lot of people.
Quite a few of us, you know what I mean?
A lot of people, man.
A few of my friends got birthdays.
Yeah,
Pastor B, shout out to her. You know what I mean? She got a birthday coming up this month. Who else got birthdays this month? Yeah. Janet Jackson got birthday coming up this month. Stevie Wonder. Malcolm X. You know what I mean? So, you know, May is a beautiful month, man. What you doing tomorrow, man?
I don't know, man. I mean, you know, Tuesdays is our little date night.
Yeah, you and the wife.
Yeah, so we probably keep it, you know what I mean? Keep it consistent.
Keep it consistent.
You know what I mean? But this time it's going to be on her.
Yeah.
Hey, babe. Yeah, she paying tomorrow.
I know Ro put in our group chat. He said he want to take us out to dinner next week.
Yeah, next week.
So,
yeah. Yeah, we're going to hold them to that.
Yeah, we're going to hold them to that. And you know, we're going to order some extra drinks for you not showing up today, too. So everything's on you next week, bro. We ain't going to hit you hard, though.
Yeah,
we ain't going to hit your pockets that hard, but... Yeah, I'm really looking forward to this birthday this year, man. I've been enjoying myself.
It's a big milestone for you.
No, I don't. You know, every birthday.
Every birthday is a milestone.
You know,
yeah.
I really don't get into the counting the numbers thing no more.
Right.
It's just another trip around the sun. You know, when you get into that numbers game, you in your mind, you mentally, you know, say you're getting old. No, I'm not getting old.
Yeah,
I don't want that mentality. It's just another year that I'm blessed to be here. You know, blessed to be healthy. You know, blessed to have family, friends that love me. And, you know, that's what it is. I'm just celebrating life, man. You know, ain't no numbers on it no more for me.
Yeah. So that's what it's about, man.
Yeah. So, but I am taking these birthdays a little bit more serious than I did when I was younger. Because, you know, those trips around the sun are adding up.
Right. Yeah.
So, you know, and with that being said, you know, just start, you know, loving yourself a little more, you know what I mean? Loving myself a little more, trying to stay a little more healthier, you know, not stress over things that I can't control, you know, and just, you know, stay in my lane, you know what I mean? Stay in my circle, bro.
Yep. Yeah.
So
that's what it's about, man, because, you know, a lot of people out here, man, is getting sick and stuff like that. A lot of that is from stress, man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like just unrealistic, you know what I mean? Worries, you know, about stuff that you can't control,
and you
know,
can't worry about that stuff.
Yeah, you just gotta take care of you and what you can control.
What you can control.
And in the long, you know what I mean, the long term of that is going to be better for your health, man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Mentally affects physical. You know what I mean? When it ain't right.
Your mind controls everything.
Yeah. Yeah.
So how work been, man?
Everything been good, man. You know what I mean? Everything been good. Easy peasy.
Easy peasy.
Yeah.
I know I
Yeah.
had seen something online last week, had me a little concerned about you. I think we talked about it a little bit, where the, trying to find it real quick. It was an Uber passenger. They sentenced him to life for executing a mother of 4 who begged for a life.
So they sentenced him now.
Yeah, they sentenced him to life.
Okay.
And I don't know if you guys follow Weather the Storm Entertainment on any platforms, but if you see this post, it's a very disturbing post. It's a post of a Uber passenger in the back seat. He pulls out a gun, puts it to the back of a woman's head, and threatens her life, and ends up taking it. And she begged for her life. You seen it, right?
I still ain't. I seen it,
Pull
but
it
you know what I mean. I saw it, but I didn't watch it. You know, I keep telling you, a lot of videos that I watch,
it's disturbing, man.
I watch it with the volume off.
Yeah.
So
it's definitely disturbing, and I
devil's
kind of thought
happening
about you because you know, I know you're in that line of work, and it's like.
Yeah. Wait, which? Are you listening to it now?
Yeah.
I'm sorry? You've got to be joking. You've got to be joking.
Oh, snap.
What are you doing?
No, it's not. Stop.
No, it's not. Stop. Come on, man. I got a family. What are you doing? What are you doing?
Stop.
Please stop.
Why are you doing this?
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 To where?
To where?
I cannot do that.
I cannot do that. Why are you doing this?
He's telling her to delete the trip.
Stop.
Please stop.
Please, I'm begging you.
Please, I'm begging
I
you.
have 4 kids. What
I
are
have
you
4
doing?
kids. What are you doing?
Wow. I'm gonna post this up so y'all can see it too.
Yeah, this is crazy.
Get off of me.
Please take that off of me. Please.
No.
No.
Keep driving. You're not saying everything will be alright.
He calm too.
Yeah, it's just
That's bad, man.
it makes no sense.
No sense at all.
It really doesn't.
No sense at all.
But that's to what we was talking about. These people out here tripping. Why would you do that? Especially knowing that it's being recorded.
And you didn't have to take her life.
That's what I'm
You
saying.
didn't
Like,
have to take her life. She begged for a life. She's like, I got 4 kids. He said, I got kids too. I'm like, man.
yeah, I don't know, man. But I mean, you know my saying. Like, ultimately, that's why you gotta, you know what I mean, you gotta stay prayed up, man.
Yeah. You ever be in a mindset that you might pick up somebody that's, you know what I mean?
No, because to what I just said, because honestly, my motto has always been, when it's time for me to go, I'm gonna go.
Yeah, that's true.
That could have been me.
You can't control it.
You know what I mean? But if that's me, it's because it was time for me to go.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it ain't no, you
Can't avoid it.
Right. You know what I'm saying? Like, stuff like that. You know what I mean? Like.
But they sentenced this dude, man, and he I think they gave him life. He didn't even go.
Oh
to
yeah,
the
that's right. You
sentencing.
said you said he ain't show up to the sentence.
When it was time for him to to go, he told him, y'all can go ahead and roof me. Y'all gonna roof me anyway. I'm not going to court. So he stayed right in the prison.
That's
It was out in the Pittsburgh area.
That's crazy, man.
Yeah, man. That was a shame, man. You know.
That's crazy.
And I know we were talking about it. You said everything is recorded.
Yeah.
In the Ubers and Lyfts.
Well, if you put one in there.
If you put one in,
it's not automatic. You got to get one.
You got to get the cameras.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you know, like, to me, it makes sense because it's too much dumb stuff that go on.
Yeah, all those.
It protects everybody.
Yeah, all those, ride shares should have cameras in those vehicles, man.
Yeah,
for real.
It protects both parties.
Yeah, both parties.
You know what I mean?
You know, I've been catching them a little bit here and there. You know, when I travel, I catch them, and I've been catching them kind of frequently, often, and I really ain't a big fan of them.
Mm-hmm.
I'm really not.
Yeah. Because
some of them cars be trifling, dirty.
Yeah, he was telling me.
And the drive, yo, I had one, the one I caught down to the bike shop. Oh, she was terrible, yo. Yo, the way she was driving, I was like, get me up out of this joint. The car was dirty.
Yeah,
I'm like, oh man.
Yeah,
that's why I hit you up. I was like,
yeah, I don't know what people be thinking, man. Like, I mean, to me, like, I be hearing all types, you know, people be telling me all types of stuff. Like, you know, yeah, I got in, person was telling me, you know what I mean, don't tell them, you know what I mean, which way to go, and I know how to drive, and all types of stuff, you know what I mean. Like, I don't, to me, it's like, and that's what I was saying to you, like, it's plenty things you can do another line of work.
yeah.
If you don't want to keep you going to have other people in your vehicle, it should be clean.
Yeah.
You're providing a service.
Yeah.
If you don't want to do that, fine, you ain't got to, but do something else.
Yeah.
Do DoorDash,
Yeah.
where you ain't nobody got to get in.
yeah,
You just got to take the food to their step. You know what I'm saying? Like,
but hey, they might be the type of DoorDash people that's eating the fries out of your joint.
Yeah.
I don't do them neither. I
Yeah.
don't do them DoorDash joints, man. It's like, I'm skeptical about all that, but
it's just you know, it's a lot of weird, to me, a lot of weird people out here, man.
yeah,
Like,
shout out to that family though. You know, it was a shame that, you know, that had to be recorded too. You know what I mean? And the family see that, and she had four kids, man. Four kids.
that is crazy. Where was that at again?
It was in the Pittsburgh area. Yeah, right here in Pennsylvania, man.
That's crazy, man.
Yeah. And he was just so calm and cool about it, like, and then wound up shooting the lady, man. Yep.
Yeah, that's
But
unfortunate.
like I said, shout out to that family.
Yeah,
God bless her soul.
praying
you
for the
know.
whole family, cause that's
Praying for him too, man, because he need help. You know, that's another thing. You know, we pray for all our, but a lot of these people that's doing a lot of these crimes, they need more prayer than us, for real. So we got to start praying for them too. You know, what I mean?
true.
We got to start praying for them.
Cause something definitely ain't right.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? To be doing some of the stuff that some of these people out here doing.
Let's talk about some other stuff that ain't right, y'all. Let's talk about some of this stuff going on with some of these guys, man. These allegations. We got Smokey Robinson about to be sued, y'all. How y'all feel about that? You know what I mean? He's getting sued by 4 former housekeepers who allege that he repeatedly sexually assaulted them and raped them during their employment while they was working for him, yo. He said, ooh, baby, baby.
Yeah, Smokey,
ooh,
he too old for that, man.
baby, baby.
Smokey that gotta be old allegations.
Yeah, it's definitely old, but I guess this the new play. You know what I mean? For the females, you know?
Yeah.
I guess they see all these other females getting bags and they starting to come out the woodworks now, you know?
Yeah.
Let me get me a bag.
You know, I think some of that, you know what I mean, and we kind of touched on some of it last episode, but I think some of that is, you know, like, especially imagine working for somebody of that caliber and seeing the lifestyle that they live, and you know what I mean, like you start to, I don't want to say envy it, but you start to say, man, you got money to spare, you got money to throw away, you got excess.
You got problems too.
Let me tap in. Let me get a little bit of that. And if you know some of it.
What do you mean? You talking about I'm talking about
from
before the allegation?
Right. I'm talking about just you, like, sounds like they worked for him for years. And you looking and you watching the lifestyle and how he moved for all these years, and you like, man, you know what I mean? Let me tap into some of that. You know what I mean?
But I get what you're saying.
I think that leads them sometimes into doing some of that stuff.
He worked for that.
Right. But it don't matter for you. You know what I mean? Like, that's like a lot of times these entourages. When you grow up, you know what I mean, with somebody that make it to the league.
They feel entitled.
Right. You like, man, you know what I mean? I was with you when, you know what I'm saying? Like, I've been with you for years. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, what's up?
Exactly.
And you got a big fallout. That's happening all over the country.
All the time.
And I think some of that comes because you see it, you're there, you know what I mean? You see the lifestyle and you feel like, man, I deserve
a part of that.
A small piece of that. And then, you know, you might not be able to get it except for.
And rightfully so, people do deserve. I think they do because support is everything.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Support. You know what I mean? Being there for
real support.
Yeah,
though.
real support. That's what I'm saying.
Some of it is leeches.
Right, there are, but I'm saying the ones that really do support.
Right.
You know what I mean, you should look out for them.
Yeah, you should.
And then you got people that had people that was supporting there, and they don't look out for them. So it happens on both ends. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's true.
That happens on both ends. So, I mean,
I guess like you said, the play now is this how I can ensure that I get something.
and I heard I believe they were immigrants too. Let me look at this up. Yeah, I believe they were immigrants. Fleming Claimant Robinson, known for his tracks like Tracks of My Tears and My Girl, exploited position of the power on prey on them while they worked in his sprawling Los Angeles residence.
Yeah, see how they are sprawling.
Smokey, yo. They was immigrants, man.
Yeah.
The plaintiffs identified only as Jane Does to protect their pattern of predatory behavior spanning nearly 2 decades.
Yeah, see, it was a long time they was watching how he was living.
Yeah.
Like, come on, man, you need to break us off with some of that.
You know, Smokey, I heard Smokey, they said Smokey was sneaking in their rooms one at a time, yo.
Well, you know what I think.
What you think?
If I'm hiring you, now you said 2 decades. If I'm hiring you, you know my status. You know who I am.
Smokey Robinson.
I'm Smokey Robinson.
The hit maker.
The hit maker. You gotta, first of all, you gotta look a certain way. You gotta look a certain way. If I'm hiring these maids, I mean, think about it. You gotta look a certain way. I'm making it known.
Now, mind you, his wife is backing him up.
Right.
His wife.
Yeah, because she was
his wife.
Yeah, she was a part of it. This ain't come out of left field.
Diddy parties.
All of that.
Freak offs.
All of that, y'all. Like, you know, she probably was sitting there, you know what I mean, helping them pick out who to hire. That's how I go down.
So Smokey was part of the freak offs.
And a part of, guess what? Because you stay there for 2 decades. Guess what you could have did after year 3? You could have went and worked somewhere else.
Yeah.
But why you didn't? Because the money was too good. But guess what? That good money come with some freak offs. It come with some late night sliding in your room. That's what it come with.
So, but why now? 2 decades later.
Because he getting older. The money probably ain't what it used to be. And they saying, yo, before you check out.
Well, now they former, so we don't know how long they stopped working for him neither.
Yeah, I don't know, but I think it, you know what I mean? Like I said, it's like, yo, let me get it. You know what I mean? It was good. I had a good salary, but I don't got that salary now. You know what I'm saying? Like, I need, you know what I mean? Break me off. You know what I mean? Some of them riches you got, yo. Just give me a small piece.
Wow.
And then when he say no, because most of the time they go up, you know, I'm like, off the record, yo, let me get, you know what I mean, or I'm gonna do X, Y, and Z. No, I ain't giving you nothing. Okay.
Well, like I say, man, if a woman say no or stop, and you keep going, that's rape.
That's rape.
It's rape.
That's
it's a very thin line right there.
That's all day, every day.
It's a very thin line right there.
No, it's not. It's not thin at all.
Oh yeah, it is.
It's not thin. It's real thick. And it is no. I don't care where you at in the process. No. You better bring it to a halt and shut it down. Seriously,
shut it down.
I don't care how you feeling. You know what I mean? You better
shut it down.
Get up out of there and blue ball it up. You know what I mean? I don't know.
Yeah, we got another guy that's being
oh goodness.
Yeah, another one. We got the ex-star Byron Scott accused of sexually assaulting a schoolgirl. Now, this was 38 years ago, though.
Yeah.
Now, this was a long time. So, it was 38 years ago. So, he was around, what, in his 20s?
He was a young buck, messing with a young buck.
But I heard the girl was 15.
It's possible. It's possible.
What's your take on that?
My take on that is why come 30-something years later? That's my point.
Why are all these people coming out decades and decades later?
Because they know they can. The temperature with the Me Too movement And then this stuff been happening for years.
Now they saying he was 26 and he lured her into a locked janitor's closet at her high school and assaulted her. So he was at the high school when this happened. He lured her into the janitor's closet and did the thing with her, yo. Sexual battery.
Yeah, I mean, it's possible. You know what I mean? Like, but I don't, you know, it's possible it didn't happen at all, too.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So I don't know. You know, it's all about this. Most of these cases.
Give me the bag.
Almost all of these cases.
Give me the bag.
They're not trying to press charges, criminal charges.
Give me the bag.
They're trying to get compensated
for
their
the bag.
trauma, for
Give me
their
the bag.
That's what it. You know what I mean?
Now that would be more of a case than trying to say he raped or sexually assaulted. Like, yo, I'm traumatized from.
Right. Well, that's
yeah, you know what I mean.
That's what she's saying.
Yeah.
That's
what you know. If they got good attorneys, that's what the attorney's gonna throw out there too.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
And like we said, with the Shannon situation, it's in your best interest when you got a reputation, when you got a name, when you got a business that's thriving. You don't need no type of monkey wrenches thrown into that. Mm-hmm. So they know that. So they come to you saying, you don't want this monkey wrench. Won't you let me get a couple dollars and I'll put this monkey wrench away? When they don't agree to that, you got to deal with however your machine break down from that monkey wrench going in it. Mm-hmm. And that's what they're betting on, that you don't want to go through that and you're going to just break them off with 10% of what they're asking for. I'll take that. But like, that's what Diddy, I was just listening to something, that case is about to jump off.
He got eight attorneys, man.
Yeah. And he might need more than that. You know what I mean? Because I
think he's going to beat it, man.
They said, one of the star witnesses is Cassie.
Yeah.
So he could have avoided all of this. Well, maybe not all of it, but the main Diddy. If he'd have just, instead of being, I don't know, stubborn or whatever, you know what I mean? Your ego was like, nah, you get out of here. You ain't getting nothing. He should have broke her off when she was just asking for the bread. Mm-hmm. He didn't do it. She went, filed the lawsuit and everything then he turned around and said, oh, then he paid her the bread. But now it's too late. The ball is rolling. Now she testifying against you in the whole nine.
They gonna get him. I think they're gonna get him on the sex trafficking. Because if you fly somebody in, that's sex trafficking. I don't think he can escape that charge.
So that's sex trafficking. So all these ball players that's flying these Instagram models in and stuff, that's sex trafficking.
It's sex trafficking.
Dang. Is it in every state or certain states?
I'm not sure of, but if it is in that state, I don't think he's gonna beat that charge.
No, because that's happening left and right.
Yeah, he's not beating sex trafficking.
People putting that in their songs.
I think it's the sex trafficking. I don't think he's going to beat, and I forget what the other charges that I was saying that he's not going to beat. Something with the children or something with the underage minors. It's a charge. I think it's a charge.
If it's something he did, you going to jail.
Yeah, let me look at it. Let me see if I can pull something up on his charges. But he's not
because they roof R. Kelly, and he ain't get convicted of nothing with no underage. It was all of age people.
Oh yeah, well.
And he got roofed.
Yeah.
I mean, now he was real deep with it, like putting them on punishment and had them locked up and couldn't talk to their parents, and he was on something different, but. They still was of age. I mean, of course, you had the 14-year-old that he was on video with, but they paid her off. That went away.
Striking, punching, dragging.
Yo, that was crazy, yo. You remember that video?
They got sex trafficking.
This Diddy.
Yeah, forced labor, kidnapping, arson, robbery, and obstruction of justice. I think those are some of the charges. I'm not sure if there's more or not, but that's what I'm looking at here.
I think
he's not beating that sex trafficking.
I think he going to get hit with a lot of that, yo.
You think so?
And you know why? Because a lot of people, from what I'm hearing, you know, now some people backtracking now, but people that was know him, that was in and around him, like a lot of them question him and, you know, what he would, how far he would go to do something, you know what I mean, if you went against him. That's why they didn't let him out on bond.
Right.
Because
I just heard
they was afraid that he was going to retaliate.
I just heard one of the main witnesses just popped up missing.
Yeah,
that was this week. One of the main witnesses that was supposed to testify is missing now.
Yeah, you know, Big Mom, she.
Oh yeah. Well, she passed away, but.
Yeah, but you know, she was like, nah.
She knew he. Well, she had thoughts that Diddy had something to do with that from day one.
And then you see what happened to Kim, baby mom, the twins' mom.
Oh yeah, yeah. Albie Shore was just on there talking about
people saying he had something to do with that.
Said? No, Albie Shore was saying that Diddy was responsible for him having his medical situations that he almost died from.
Dang.
And I was looking at that. I was like, damn, like, you think somebody would go through that much to implement and get you injected with something that make I'm like, that's kind of a stretch.
Yeah, that's far-fetched. That's hard to believe, but I mean, the stuff and the moves he made, I mean, look where he got to.
And then I'm listening to Albie Shore.
Billionaire, yo.
I'm listening to Albie Shore make these allegations. I'm like, that's kind of a stretch for me. You know what I mean? Like, he the reason why you had ammonia or whatever it was that he had, a kidney failure or something. Like, come on.
Yeah, I mean.
But his son, Albie Shore's son, and, you know, him and Kim's son, his son look at Diddy like, that's my pop. So how do your biological dad feel a certain way about this man, but you rocking with him like you treating him like he God Almighty. You rocking, you know what I mean, rocking with your stepbrothers and your sisters, and you know, you living there with them and you in pictures with them, but you got your biological dad feeling this way. That's kind of weird to me. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, it could be, that is weird, but it could be anything. You know what I mean?
Well, I do think
he could really treat him like that.
I do think him, Albie Shore and his son, I think they had a bad relationship though. You know, ever since he was born. I think they just recently, maybe a few years ago, rekindled it. But that's crazy, man.
Yeah, but I you know, like, I don't know, man. Some of the stuff that, you know, people be alleged to do, I'm like, and then, you know, public people, you see him and you like, nah, this person can't be like that, can they?
Never know.
But a lot of people close to him, well, I won't say a lot, but there's several people that's close to him that say, yeah, like even the bodyguards, they speaking out. You know what I mean? Like, if anybody know you, your bodyguard know you.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, just from his demeanor in certain clips, you can question it. You know what I mean? He just showed that this guy got a different side to him. You know what I mean? Even though, you know, I ain't gonna take away everything that he did for the culture and hip hop. You know, I'm still gonna put him up there as far as that.
Oh no, he did what he did.
As far as his personal life and, you know, how he hurt people and just the way it looked like he could do some of these things. That's just his demeanor and his personality and character.
To me, like, you know what I mean, I rock with Diddy. I rock with what he did for hip hop. You know what I'm saying? Like, but when I saw that clip of what he did to Cassie, that was it for me. Yeah, I lost him. Any man, if you gotta put your hands on a woman like that, I lost all respect for you. You know what I mean? Yeah. You know, if you had an issue, you should have got, you know what I mean, somebody of the male origin in her family and took it out on them, not on the female.
Now I wonder, can they use that video in court with him? I'm not sure.
I don't know. I'm sure, like, I'm sure the prosecution is like, yes,
they definitely gonna try.
But I know the defense gonna try to rumble and figure some type of way to get that suppressed. But like, that's damning. You know what I mean?
It is.
You know, so
Well, you know, prayers to that family also, because
Yeah.
they definitely need a lot of prayers in so many different ways. This case is definitely going to be very interesting going through the summer. I was trying to see if you could see it on TV like they did OJ, but you can't.
No, they no cameras and
I went online to see. That's why I had CNN and all that on when you came in. I was trying to see if I can get any update on it.
That probably, I mean, a lot of times, like I'll be listening to, like, you know, some of the cases, neither one of them be wanting to put it on. They don't be wanting the cameras in the courtroom.
Yeah.
Neither side. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that OJ situation was classic.
That was crazy.
Yeah,
People
that was
people
classic.
was glued to the TV.
Yeah, boy, people was running home from work,
Yeah, that was
actually
crazy.
calling off from work to watch that show, yo.
And they saying this gonna be bigger than
Just
that.
as big, yeah. That's why I thought they was gonna have cameras in there.
But they you gonna get all the still pictures and all that.
Yeah.
we gonna get all that stuff.
Yeah, definitely.
But yeah, that's crazy, man.
Yeah, a lot going on out here in this world. Make sure y'all stay prayed up.
Yeah.
Make sure y'all stay within your circle, man. You know, a lot of these people out here, you don't know them. Can't put your trust in them.
No.
You know, you got to trust the ones that you put time in, they battle tested. You know what I mean? A lot of these people ain't battle tested you out here dealing with, so don't put your all in them. Don't do that. But what else, bro? What else we gonna bust it up about?
I don't know, man. It's a lot going on. You know what I mean? It's a lot going on out here.
Got all these allegations and summertime coming. Talk about some positive stuff. What we got going on coming up? Got Memorial Day coming up.
Yeah. Juneteenth.
Juneteenth.
Yeah.
I know a lot of concerts. I know we just had that concert over ASSE. I ain't make it over there. Heard it was a great concert with Keith Sweat, Charlie Wilson, and Jagged Edge, and John B. over Atlantic City.
Speaking of which, you know, I know we talked about it, but I'm definitely, matter of fact, I'm gonna grab my tickets. I've been dragging my feet to the Rock the Bells Festival.
Oh yeah, I'm there.
Yeah, that joint is, that lineup is nice.
Yeah, that whole joint gonna be there. Philly gonna be in the building
Yeah,
hard
that-
because state
that-
property gonna be performing.
And you know, like, you know, the first couple years that they started it, it was outdoors at Forest Hills.
It's inside this year.
It's inside.
Air AC.
Yeah, because that thing, sheesh. Both times we went, this first time we went, we was out that joint like about to get a heat stroke.
Yeah, I know when was it last year when we went to the 50th anniversary joint Nas did in the Bronx. We had a good time, yo. It wasn't that hot though.
Yeah,
it wasn't that hot because we was out of when it first started, when the sun was up.
It was warm.
The people that was on the field.
See, and that's the thing. Our second time we went, it was like, all right, you gotta be smart. Where was the shade at? You know what I mean? So we got seats that was gonna put us in the shade.
Yeah, because you know we was up under the mezzanine.
Right,
you know,
so you was good. Yeah.
And we was in a nice little section, so we was sectioned off and we had a perfect view. But I was looking at them people on the field. I was like, I know they burning up. It was hot that day too up in the Bronx.
Yeah. Yes,
it was hot. But I think I'm gonna get my ticket this week.
Yeah, we gonna grab too.
Yeah, I'm gonna get my ticket this week.
We gonna grab too. I definitely want
Even
to.
though
That joint will be.
Even though, Maul, I'm waiting for my all act. You know what I mean? I'm gonna hit you up, Maul. So I know you got me though. So I'm gonna be there either way. Either I'm gonna be in the bleachers, in the rafters, or I'm gonna be all access backstage. One or the other, but I'm gonna be there.
Yeah.
So I'm really looking forward to that joint. But you know, I'm gonna move. I'm gonna make some move once I'm in there. So that's gonna be a nice joint. That's a lot of stuff coming up this summer, man. For real.
Yeah.
You know, far as shows and concerts and stuff. Got the Roots Picnic coming up the end of this month.
Yeah.
That's gonna be a nice lineup. You know what I mean? You got of course you got D'Angelo, you know, rest in peace, Angie Stone. So that's gonna be Roots Picnic is always good. Always good. Good event to go to. You know, I don't know if you been to any of them?
I've never been to the Roots.
Yeah, that's something you gotta experience, you know.
Every time I'll be like, oh, I'm gonna go. You know what I mean? But one of the reasons, and I think we touched on it before, one of the reasons I haven't gone is because I really don't know, like, those festivals. You know what I mean? Like what's the real layout? Like I don't like to be just standing around like you know what I mean?
Well, they have different stages. They got a main stage.
Yeah, but where am I going to be at?
It depends who you want to see perform.
But see, that's what I'm saying. See,
because you got performances simultaneously. You got performances on the main stage, then you got performances on the other stage.
Right.
And they simultaneously. So whoever you want to see, because you could, it's always going to be a moment where it's two people performing, you want to see both of them.
Right.
You know what I mean? Out of the acts.
So that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't have a seat.
There's seats, depending on how much money you want to spend.
See, well, okay. Well, that's the thing. You know what I mean? Like, I need a seat.
Yeah, it depends how much.
I don't want to be like standing around, because those festivals is all day.
Yeah, 2 days.
Yeah, right. You know what I mean?
2
Like,
days.
see, now I'm not. You know what I mean? I'm not in my 20s no more.
Come on, you in the gym, you working out, you getting
It's-
six packs. Y'all
listen,
hear him, y'all?
look,
he getting abs and you know what I mean, he fixing flats and
If I wanted to do it, I could do it.
yeah, exactly.
I don't want to do that.
I mean, you can get a seat.
It takes to me it takes the enjoyment out of
The concert, the show.
The concert, the show. If I'm standing up and I need to have my own space.
Right.
And it's assigned to me.
You can have that.
Yeah, that's what I need.
You can have that.
Yeah. I gotta
Go
look
to
into it.
www.rootspicnic.com. You can even lay away your tickets now. You know what I mean? You would make monthly payments on your tickets for the Roots concert.
Yeah, I'm gonna grab some tickets. I gotta hit you. I gotta hit you up.
You gotta
man.
hit Tyreek up.
I gotta hit him up. You know what I mean?
Take it back to Logan Square,
Yeah, take it back in the day, man. Give me some. I got my ticket. Let me get some all access.
Get an upgrade.
Yeah, so I ain't gotta worry about my space being all crowded. Cause them joints be packed.
Yeah, them Jones be packed.
That's why I haven't gone. Cause I'm just afraid of that.
Yeah, they packed. Both days be packed.
Yeah, I'm just afraid of that. But the lineups is always top notch. I mean, that's Roots. They gonna do it right. You know what I mean? When they do it anyway.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
we'll see. But it's a lot coming up, man. WNBA. We supposed to be going to a WNBA game.
Definitely going to represent the WNBA. I'd rather watch them than watch the NBA. So, we there. You guys got to keep me posted on that, bro.
Yeah, I gotta
get them tickets.
I gotta look and see when that date is.
Yeah, I mean,
I think it's in June. There's a lot going on in June.
Yeah.
June is packed.
And like I said, don't forget, y'all, we got a special Father's Day edition of the pod that we're going to be doing. So make sure y'all stay locked in, stay tapped in. Make sure y'all follow us on all social media platforms. Make sure y'all watch future episodes of the pod. Go back, look at some of the old joints, see how we grew. Leave a comment. Excuse me. Leave a comment, a like. Tell us what y'all, give us your opinion. We ain't professionals. We just normal guys doing our thing, creating a platform, giving y'all our point in our discussion.
Yeah.
That's pretty much it.
That's all I'm gonna say. Like, give us, give us some feedback. Comments. Some different, things that you see or
something you want us to talk about.
Something, yeah, right. Something that you want us to talk about or cover or, hear, our viewpoint of it. But it's been good, man. Just, seeing the growth over these 15 episodes.
Yeah, and we definitely want to, thank everybody that's been supporting us, that's been tuning in. That have been liking it, and watching everything, and, the other social media platforms, and, giving us encouragement. And we definitely want to support y'all.
Yeah.
And, thank y'all for that. And,
Yeah, definitely a shout out, man. And thanking everybody because it's, like I was talking, to you the other day, it's, you out and about doing different stuff, just, things that you getting into, and you hear people like, yo, I saw the episode, So people watching it, people seeing it, we thank y'all for tuning in.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And, the people that, hit us up, give us feedback and stuff like that. But for everybody, just give us feedback and, in the comments and stuff like that. And we're going to continue to tweak it and, make it better, as we grow, and y'all get to, watch us as we grow.
Yeah, thanks for being a part of this journey. We definitely gonna keep going. We ain't stopping. Like, did he say, can't stop, won't stop? Take that. Pause. I got to throw the pause in there, right?
Yeah.
But speaking on T, for those that do follow us and watch our episodes, if y'all don't know, we got a barber named Terrence T. Gooder Hall. We did an episode on him. And him and Phil recently, they kind of went through a little situation where Phil stopped going to him to get his hair cut. And on that episode, I made sure that we squashed that beef because we've been friends too long. You know, we've been going to Terrence, getting our hair cut too long. And they just needed to mend that and get that out the way, which they did, and everything was good. And he just recently went back to him. So tell us how that went, man. How you think go?
Yeah, everything went well.
It went good?
Yeah, it went well. You know what I mean? Like,
was he on time?
Yeah, for the most part.
For the most part?
Yeah, for the most part. Well, it wasn't bad at all. You know what I mean? We busted up, you know what I mean, had a good conversation, saw the new spot. You know what I mean? And,
Oh, that's your first time at the
That was
crib?
my first time.
Oh,
yeah.
wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Because, you know, he hadn't...
So you ain't been there. You ain't had a cut from T in a
November.
minute. Wow.
November was...
It was last year?
Yeah. November.
No, that went quick.
November is when, you know what I mean, we ran into the issue. That was for Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
For Thanksgiving.
Because we had just not recently started the pod.
Yep.
Yeah.
For Thanksgiving.
Wow.
You know what
So
I mean? But I
everything
went back.
cool?
He videoed it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I seen the video.
Yeah, he videoed it. But yeah. So you know, shout out to T Gooder, man. That's my man. That's family. You know.
Absolutely.
But you know, like we was talking in one of our text chain. You know, it's when you providing a service, it's about doing a good job when you provide that service.
Don't
you know
take
what I
your
mean?
customers for
Yeah.
granted.
That's
Don't
what it's
do that.
about. You know.
You know, that's your community. That's where your money come from. Make sure you give them top-notch quality service, whether it's friends or family.
Yeah.
You know, you take them for granted. You take your family and friends for granted, but they deserve top-notch, service too. If you're providing a service for, the public. So keep that in mind. Don't take
but
your
it's
people
all
for
good.
granted.
You know, cut still in there.
In the building.
Yeah. You know.
Did he charge you?
No. It was on the house.
You got a house.
Yeah.
That's
on
what I'm
the house.
talking about.
Yeah.
Shout out to T Gooder.
Yeah.
Yeah, he hooked me up today.
Okay.
So, you know. Yep.
So
Let's go ahead and end this, man.
yeah, man.
It's day before your birthday.
Yep.
Happy birthday to my man again.
Yep.
Wish you many, many more. You still looking good. Another trip around the sun. We're gonna keep on making these trips around the sun.
Yeah.
Any closing remarks, bro?
I mean, just kind of the theme of some of the stuff we was talking about, man. Just everybody, just be good to one another, man. You know what I mean?
Love,
like,
peace, and happiness.
yeah, man. Like it's too much animosity. You know what I mean? There's too many. Killings and shootings and I'm looking at right here. Y'all can't see it, but peace and blessed. Like we need more of that, man.
Yeah, and love.
Yeah,
love. Can't leave that love out, man. Love make the world go round.
We need more of that. Just be good, be kind to one another, and just I don't know, man. It's this world we live in. It's like everything, and it's crazy because what moves the needle as far as like views and clicks is negativity.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
Yep.
I don't know. I don't know how we could do it, man. But just make an attempt to,
Do what's right.
Yeah, love on people, and find a silver lining and even the bad situations.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, bad situations you get pulled good out of it.
Yeah.
It's either a blessing or a lesson. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So a bad situation, sometimes you might think it's a bad situation, but that might be God setting you up for the win.
Right.
You trying to go in one direction, and
Yeah.
he wants you to go in another direction. You look at it like, oh no, I ain't want that. It's bad. This, that, and the third. But actually, it could be what you need. It could be your blessing in disguise. So, just take everything with a grain of salt. Take the good with the bad. Take the bad with the good. Just stay positive. Stay happy. Stay moving. That's the most important thing. Stay moving. Just keep going. You know what I mean? Love on your family. So on that note, we here at the pod. We thank y'all for coming in. joining us on this episode. Make sure y'all tune in for the next episode. Make sure y'all subscribe, like, comment, follow on all other social media platforms at Weather the Storm Entertainment. And on that note, we out. Peace.